Okay, before we begin coding with our students, we're going to have to do a little bit of preparation as a teacher. The first thing we're going to want to do is set up our own Google Sheet. So let's go ahead and create a Google Sheet right now. We click on Sheets and we click on Blank Sheets. And this is going to be just for us as the teacher. And we will call this CodePen Addresses. And if you want to get specific, whatever year your class is. 2019 to 2020. Sure. So this is just for you as the teacher. We're going to make a few columns right now. It's just going to be, I'm going to extend the A out and I'm going to put student name. And then over here, stretch out the B and I'm going to put CodePen address. And I'm not going to bother with any of the making it look nice, or this is strictly an information resource. So let's say I've got a student named Dave. All right, so I'm going to have Dave open up his CodePen. So if I'm Dave, I'm going to CodePen. We've already set our CodePens up. If I click on my little guy here, I can see my profile, or I can come over here to profile and I see that I am signed in. If I'm not signed in, then it's going to ask me to sign in. So I'm going to have Dave then get his showcase. So as you can see, I'm already on my showcase. These are my best projects. Right now I only have one in here that we created when we did our first web page. So on the showcase, Dave is going to select his CodePen address. So he's going to hit Control C to copy it. And then he's going to go into his Gmail. He's going to compose an email, and he'll hit Control V and paste in his CodePen address right there. And then he'll send it to my email address. So your students will be emailing you on your school email address. .com, and then in here he puts a description, Dave CodePen. So he's using his own CodePen address to put in here. Obviously I'm using mine, but this is what he's going to be seeing. So, and then he'll just hit send. So then as the teacher, you'll get the email. Here's Dave's CodePen. Obviously I'm using mine. So I'll copy Dave's CodePen. I'll hit Control C, and in my CodePen address I'll hit Control V. And this way, if I wanted to start keeping grades for their CodePens, I could very easily. So you'd have each student in your class, you'll have their name written and their CodePen address right there. They can easily email it to you from their Gmail. So I'm going to close out of that for right now. Let's go ahead and open up a new tab. If I click on here on my Google Apps, right now I do not have access to Google Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Google Classroom. More than likely this will already be available to you as the teacher. If I click on Google Classroom right now, I'll hit continue. It'll have me set up a classroom, and if I click here, it should allow me to drag Classroom up. So for right now in Google Classroom, if we click the plus sign and we try to create a class, it's going to tell us that if we're using Classroom at school with our students, then we have to have a G Suite for Education account set up. This has already been set up by your school district. So for me right now, I'm going to click I've read this and I'm going to continue. You'll be able to just jump to this screen right here. So the class name required Rand 5th grade. Section general. Subject general. We'll just say that. And then for room 111, create. Got it. Okay, so here is Google Classroom. So if you go into settings and you give your students the class code, when they go to log in to a Google Classroom, they'll just enter this code right here and you'll be able to see your whole class. So anything that I post on this page right here will be visible to my class. So let's say I want to show this CodePen to my class and I say, all right, we've got a template. I highlight it, I hit Control C to copy it in my Google Classroom. Under this first post, I'm going to click right here, which is a hyperlink, and I'll hit Control V. It'll paste in there. I'll add my link and I'll share with my class. It'll be like first web page template. You don't have to do this. I'm just making an example. And then I'll hit post. So when my class logs into Google Classroom and opens it up, they'll see this first web page template. They'll be able to click right there and they'll be able to bring it up. And CodePen is awesome because it allows you to fork the code, and then you basically have a copy of the code on your CodePen account that you can modify. So we'll use this feature a lot throughout the school year, and that is using Google Classroom. So we've set up our CodePen spreadsheet, and now we know how to post things to the stream of our Google Classroom.